Okay, we are moving on to quest number 3 in the Unity Challenge Club course. I just wanted to make mention, I really enjoyed the video here that introduced the quest. It was really good how the instructor walked you through each script. I think that would be really useful for beginners and pointing out what's already been established for you in the scripts and then really narrowing it down and showing specifically what needs to be changed. I've already downloaded the quest project files and started a project, and I noticed that I'm getting an error code already in Unity. I'm hoping that when I go into, oh, this is interesting. Lighting. Okay, I'm hoping that when I go into the level 1, the error code goes away, and it hasn't gone away. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something I need to solve. The first challenge is to adjust the camera as needed and make some of the top level game objects transparent. Okay, so top level game objects. Let me just sort of orient myself here. So I can see that the camera is not quite top down, so that might be something that I want to fix. I'm just gonna arrange my scene view like so. Whoops. And I'm going to go to the camera and hit, oh, where is this? Game object and align with view, I think. Okay, so that looks better. And now we need to adjust the camera as needed and make some of the top level game objects transparent. I'm just going to go back in the video here to see exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, okay, so maybe the green play space transparent. Room 1, is that where it is? Oh, now of course I'm going to screw up my scene view. Room 1 is the bottom and room 2 is the top. So if we go on to the players, the yellow cube. Oh, it's all cubes. Okay, that have been stretched out. Finish pad is the red and the cube is here. So I think we probably want to apply, and where's the floor? Okay, we want to apply a material that is more transparent. Okay, so there's this green material here. I'm wondering if I can just crank this down. Okay, so I've cranked down the A value here, and I'm not even sure if that's what's on. Oh, it is. Okay. Is that more transparent? I think so, maybe. Oh, here's a transparent. This one's called transparent example. Oops. Okay, and I'm having some trouble actually getting it on. So I'm just interested in looking at the values here. The metallic is cranked down, the smoothness is about half. So if I go back to the green, it's about the same thing. And it's about half here. So if I go back to the green, it's about half there. We've got the metallic and the smoothness. So I'm not really sure why that's not going. Oh, rendering mode opaque. Does that have something to do with it? It does. Okay, transparent. So I'm going to just, Now, the problem with that is I don't want the whole thing to be transparent. I just want the floor to be transparent. So I'm actually going to reverse that change. And I'm going to just use the transparent material that's already been created, but I'm going to just change it to be green colored, like so. Okay, sorry, I've had to duck out a couple times because my allergies are flaring. In Canada, it's getting quite warm this week, so my body is just adjusting to it finally, hopefully starting to be spring. Okay, so adjust the camera as needed. Make some of the top level game objects transparent to help the player effectively see down to the bottom level as needed. Okay, so can we see down to the bottom level as needed? I'm just going to play it here. Oh, and of course I can't play it because, oh my goodness, what is this error code? Right, okay, so this isn't very helpful. So it's something to do with the TextMesh Pro imported assets. So this must be something that's been imported, I guess, by the instructor, and then I've imported it into my project. So in examples and extras, and then this scripts folder, and then floating text. TextMesh Pro floating text. Now, I wonder if that was a bad idea. But I just deleted the scripts that were imported. I assume they're not actually relevant because I assume they are just coming with an asset pack that's been imported, and so I don't actually need them for this project. But if that's a problem, I can just go back and re-import them. Okay, so now the game's actually going to play, and I can see the bottom all right. Oh gosh, I see the controls are backwards from what I thought they would be. I mean, maybe that's part of the challenge of the game. Yep, so I can just adjust the transparency again if I need to, but for now that looks fine to me. Okay, so I think that's done. Duplicate player block. Set up the player 1 cube to also move the same way player 2 does. Hint, check out how the player 1 game object is set up in the inspector. Okay, so we've got, so are we, okay, so player 2 is the one, I think the one that's moving on the top, right? Yes, okay, so then we need player 1, which should be in room 1, to move the same way. So player 1 is this blue cube. My first assumption is that it doesn't have a script on it, and yeah, it doesn't. So it should have the player movement script on it. So we'll go in and we'll find that. Scripts, player movement. So player 1 needs the player movement script. And I saw there was something about the move speed. Oh my goodness. In check out, modify your move speed variable to a speed that you deem appropriate for your players. So I suppose I can just start it at whatever player 2 is at. So that's 200. And I see it needs a rigid body, so I guess I need to put a rigid body onto the cube. Yeah. I'm going to just copy the components so that way I can put them all in so that both of the player cubes look the same. And I guess I will, can I just drag this in? Okay, so player 1 rigid body, and I just want to make sure that player 2 looks the same. So player 2 rigid body. The shader is different, of course, because the color is different. And now what happens when I play? Does the bottom cube actually move? Oh, it does. Does it? Yes, it does. Oh dear. Okay, now I see what the challenge is. Okay. So, oh my goodness. This is really, I have terrible spatial sense, so this is going to be fun to play. Oh, I like this. Okay, I can fool around with that later. Okay, so move the same way. Modify your move speed variable to a speed that you deem appropriate for your players. I'll probably make it go faster eventually, but I'll leave it like that for now. Okay, assigning variables. In our finish pad script, assign our game handler variable to be assigned. Okay, first, hold on, one thing at a time because I will get confused. So finish pad script, let's open that up. Once challenged, the player block should be properly destroyed. Console log an error until our game handler is properly assigned. Okay, so this is challenge 3 that I'm on. Assign our game handler variable to be assigned to our game handler class. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what this challenge is asking me to do. I know it wants me to do, oops, find objects of type. Not having caps lock on would be helpful. And then I think going across to the game handler. Oh, you know, I bet what it wants us to do is to do this. Find object of type, game handler. That. So assign our game handler variable to be assigned to our game handler class. Okay, so we've defined that. And I have the game handler script open now as well. Instantiate particle VFX. Oh gosh, this is what I'm terrible at. Instantiate a particle prefab of choice at the position of the pad when a player cube reaches a finish pad inside. Okay, so inside the finish script, so on the trigger, we're going to instantiate. Once challenge 3 is complete, the player block should be properly destroyed. Oh, let me just check and make sure that that's actually working. I see I'm getting an error code here, so I'll have to fix that later. Okay, so I see that the yellow block has been destroyed. Now, why am I not able to get the blue block? Oh, I see. Oh my goodness, silly me. I was trying to get it to the top level finish pad when of course it should have gone here. Okay, and yes, the 2 player blocks are being destroyed. I'm gonna just, whoops, I'm gonna get rid of that code then, the comment, so that way I don't get confused. So we're going to instantiate a prefab of my choice. Materials, imported, simple FX. Yeah, blood splatter. Let's find something. Maybe fireworks. That's happier than blood splatter. So I'm going to, I guess I should just serialize a field here for the FX. I'll just say explosion prefab. And then once it's collided with, I'll just do instantiate. And you know what, I'm going to assign it to a variable too, just in case I need to destroy it. It should be a game object or a particle system. explosion prefab. Transform that position, so it should happen right on the pad there, the finish pad. Transform that position. I don't know if I need this or not, but I'm going to put it in anyway. And I always spell position incorrectly. I make the same mistake every time. Okay, position. Okay, and for some reason I'm getting this transformed up position. It doesn't like this. Okay, what if I just didn't do that? Oh, there's something really silly I'm doing here, and I can't figure out what it is. Do I need to just say what it is? This dot transform dot position. It's on the finish pad when I want to have it, where I want to have it go. I guess I could do other dot transform dot position, so that would be oh my goodness, what silly thing am I doing here? I'm gonna have to look back over this video because now I don't have the squiggly line and I can't remember what the code looked like before, so I'm not sure if maybe I just had a spelling error or something, probably. Okay, so on the finish pad, which is there a, looks like there's a prefab. That would be easier. And yep, the explosion prefab. Serialized field is there, so I can just go in, find, I don't know, this one looks good, and hopefully that should work. So let's test that out. Let me go for the easier one. Yeah, I guess I should try this one too. Nice. Okay. So the particle system is working. Okay, so that's done. Player detection. Implement some logic into your game handler CS class to detect if all player cubes have been destroyed from the scene. Once that happens, activate the "You win" text on the screen. What script are we working with? The game handler. So the game handler, okay, so that's just residing on an empty, I assume, game object in the hierarchy. So it's finding, I think he's identifying the cubes by this find objects of type player movement, so it'll find any of the objects that have the player movement script on them. So I think we need to do, oh, check if level is complete. Okay, so all player cubes. Oh, I see. So we're gonna, he has it in a list, so we're gonna check if the list is empty. And I'm gonna have to look up how to check if a list is empty because I can't remember how to do it off the top of my head. Okay, so I'm trying to do, this might be embarrassingly wrong, but I'm going to identify the list here and look for the count, so the number of items that are in the list, because they should be getting removed each time they're destroyed. So if that equals 0, then I'm going to print to the console "You win." And like I said, I really am not sure if this is what I'm supposed to do, but let's try it. So I'm going to do it one at a time. Whoops. Okay, and now nothing's printed to the console yet, so that's good. Oh, good, you win. Okay. So that must be working. Okay, so I am going to check that one off. Activate the you win text on the screen. Okay, before I do that, so is there game object you win text null? Okay, so where is this? On the canvas, I assume. You win text. So I'm gonna serialize that. Take that private out. So you, yeah, you win text. Actually, can I just, I'm gonna change some stuff around here, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to change it to a TextMesh Pro, and I know I need the namespace up here. This is how I'm used to doing things, so I'm just going to do this, and hopefully it doesn't screw up. So I'm going to print you in. I'll just leave that in for now, and then I'm going to, and you know what, maybe I can't set this as active, and that's probably why it was on a game object. I don't know, maybe I could have done GameObject.TextMeshPro GUI, but I'll just simplify this. Oh, you know, I could have, that was silly. I can just, now I'm just interested in seeing if I can do it this way. So bear with me. So I don't want to set active the type. I want to do the actual variable. And no, it still doesn't look like it's there. Now if I change this to a game object, does that take the line away? It does. Okay. So thanks for sticking with me for that as I try to experiment. So it starts as inactive on the game handler. Oh, it is already in there. Right, okay. So let's make sure this works. And that's right, I need to do both of them, don't I? Trying to get away with winning with just one cube. You win, yay, okay. Perfect. Hazards. Create a hazard object that destroys our cube player object and restarts the level if the player cube object is destroyed, i.e. a spike hazard that kills the player object if touched and restarts the current level and finds some free assets. Okay, I'm just gonna make something easy. So room 1, sorry, that's my phone notification going off, which I should have silent. I'm going to do it in room 2. I'm going to do it in the top level, and I'm going to add a 3D object. I'm going to add a sphere. Lovely. Now where is sitting on 0.71? Just want to make sure it looks like it's actually sitting on the floor there. I'll put it down here, and I'm going to just throw one of the built-in materials on it because why not? Beautiful. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do black. And I guess it needs, wait, let me just see here. So then the player script, the player movement script, which I don't have open anymore. Okay, so I think I'm going to do an on trigger enter for the player. And I'm going to check to see if the thing that has been collided with has the finish pad script on it. I'm basically just going to be copying this code over and changing it a little bit. So if the other, so the thing that's being collided with has the finish pad script on it, then I guess it's just basically do nothing. Well, it'll be doing something from the other script, but nothing that we need to worry about right now. And then else, what are we gonna do? Okay, so else, what are we gonna have do? We want to destroy the, is it destroy the player? Restarts the level if the player cube is destroyed. So first I'm just gonna do a print. Player destroyed. I'll just print that to the console and make sure this works. And I'm getting an error message. On trigger enter. Do I already have one? No. Oh, I think the class ended here, which is interesting. Oh no, it doesn't like that. Public class. So we've got the update, the move. Okay, yeah, we're missing this one here. And of course, it was something very easy that I was forgetting, which was the curly bracers. And I'm missing the end quotation mark there. Okay. So let's make sure this works. So we're watching the console. Gonna head right for that spike. And it's being collided with and nothing is happening. You know what? I think I need to put... Oh, there is a collider on it. Now, what does the collider look like? Oh, it looks fine. Oh, and it doesn't have trigger checked off. That is probably the problem. Let's try this again. Player destroyed. Now, if I hit the finish pad, then it's not triggering that. Player destroyed message, which is perfect. So now I actually need to destroy the player. So I'll just do, oh gosh, no, why can't I? Destroy game object? Is that what it is? Destroy game, oh my gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head. Destroy object. Gonna have to look this up. Is there somewhere else where it is? Destroy. Usually the answer is in one of your other scripts, and often I'll write something and then like 5 seconds later I will just completely forget how to do it. So we want to destroy this, not the other, because that would be destroying the finish pad or the spike. So let's make sure that is actually getting destroyed. Okay, it is. And now we need to reset the level, I believe was the instruction. Restarts the level if the player cube object is destroyed. Do we have any level? Nothing's built in here. The game handler, I think, is the most logical place to put that. Check if level complete. So let's just say reload level. That's a public void. Guess we're not using this TM Pro anymore, so we need Unity Engine .scene management, and I think it's scene manager .load scene, and it'll be the current scene. There's only one scene, so that'll be 0, and then we'll call that. I guess we should do it before. Oh my goodness, find object of type. If I can spell. Of type. Game handler. Do we have a reference to game handler already? No, we don't. Okay, game handler and reload level. Reload scene, I could have called it. And then destroy the object. Yeah. I just want to make sure nothing else is hanging around in my hierarchy that should have been destroyed. I don't think so. So I think a nice thing to add here would be like a particle effect and a short delay, so that it's not immediately bouncing back to the beginning of the start of the level. But I think this satisfies the requirements of the quest, so I'm just or of the challenge. Restarts level, yeah. Yes, to add some flavor, okay. But for now, I'm just going to do the basics on this video to keep it short. But I would probably go in and add a coroutine there. That's like here, maybe like a start VFX coroutine. So then down here would be like IEnumerator, start VFX, and then I would play instantiate a particle effect, and then do this, copy this code and paste it down in the coroutine after a short delay, maybe like 0.5 seconds or something like that. Okay, but I'm gonna just move on for now. Camera movement controls. Create some user controls to allow the user to control basic camera movement. So I've never actually done this before, so I'm going to go off camera for a few minutes and figure out how to do this, and then I will be back. Okay, so just to update you with what I have so far, this is something I've never done before, so I definitely think this is the most challenging part of this quest. The rest of it has been fairly easy, I think, for beginner level, but this part is challenging. So far, I think I've got the mouse scroll working. This is my messy code. I've serialized the speed. The max clamp I don't have in yet. I just realized that I'm going to need a clamp because you can continue to scroll all the way in and all the way out. So I'm going to have to fix that. And I'm starting the current zoom at 0, which actually I think I need to start it at something else because it's going too close to the screen. I'm using the input to get the mouse scroll wheel. Oh, I do have the clamp here, but I was using someone else's code and I don't like how this is working. So I'm going to actually write this myself. I'm going to do a min clamp and a max clamp. If I could spell correctly, that would be good. Yeah, so I fell down a rabbit hole, went on Stack Overflow, went on the Unity forums, and I'm just sort of trying to wing this myself based on what I've seen. So the min clamp, just going to start that at 10F, and I'll do the max clamp at like, I don't know, 50 or something, and we'll see how that goes. And I also should be saving. So where is my camera? There it is. So if I'm manipulating it, and I'm not going to be able to do that in play mode, am I? And you know, if you're a beginner watching this, there's nothing wrong with having to go up and actually click on the game object and manipulate it. I have to do this all the time. Right, okay, so that's going right down in. So we want it to be like, oh yeah, we want the min to be something higher. So maybe like, maybe there, so that you can see the action in the bottom. So maybe like 14, and then the max to be like 35. Let's do like 15 and 35. So I'm not sure why that's the camera is at 10F. Oh my gosh, you know what's happening here is, why are all these values at 10? Have I actually overwritten them? Because that would be really silly. 10, 15, 35. Okay, now that's better. I wonder if I had actually just forgotten to change the values in the inspector. Now I want it to be clamped at a max. Yes, there we go. So main camera is at 35 and it's clamped. Oh my goodness, that is a silly mistake. And then I'm gonna go down, and I guess 15 is pretty in there. That's not so bad, because then you can, if you want to see what's going on the middle floor or on the bottom floor, you can. This is also seems to be rotated or something, the camera. Okay, now we want to have that at 90. And then this one, maybe we want to have it at minus 180. We'll use round numbers. That's better. Yeah, okay. So it looks like the clamp is working. Now this speed, feel like we need to times it, multiply it. Maybe like that. I'm not sure. I know we will have to make it frame rate independent, but I'm honestly not sure how to do that. Yeah, so that's screwing everything up when I do that. So I think there's something I have to do there, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that. So just leave it like that for now. Now, as for translating left and right, oh great, now we're really, what the heck did we do there? Current zoom times speed. Yeah, I'm gonna get that speed out. I know I need the speed. I'm just not sure at the present moment how I'm gonna put that in. But at least we've got that working. Again, I know the speed is important. I know I'm gonna have to do something with that. But for now, this is as good as it's gonna get. And I'm gonna have to end this video soon because I need to go take care of my kids. But that's fairly good. So use the arrow keys so the user can navigate the camera around each level. So I think the problem is going to be that we already have the camera or the player movement attached to the WASD keys. So I think we're going to have to separate that so that we can assign the camera to it. I'm not going to have time to do that on camera today, but I will look it up, and off camera I will try to implement that. But I think I'm just gonna stop doing this double room quest for now. I've done most of it on camera. It was a good quest. I do think it would be helpful if there were some more relevant resources and links included at the bottom. The previous two quests had a lot of really helpful stuff. It was easy for me as a beginner to scroll down, see what I needed, click on it. Of course, I don't mind Googling myself. But it really, especially related to the camera movement controls, I know there's a good Unity Learn webpage that deals with a lot of the camera movement stuff that I ended up on. I'm not sure if there's a Unity doc. I'm sure there is somewhere that deals with it. I ended up on Stack Overflow, but it would be great if this section was filled out more. I feel like there's a bit of inconsistency in the difficulty level in this quest. So the first parts, the first like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections were like quite easy. I'd say easier than the basic teleporting quest and the whack-a-mole quest. And then the camera movement controls section was a little more difficult and required me to go and do more of my own research. Again, not that I mind, but it just seemed a little bit inconsistent. And I think maybe filling out this relevant resources and links would help. Other than that, though, I really enjoyed this quest. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I really enjoyed the introduction video. I thought it laid out everything really well, and maybe just filling out this camera movement controls section would be the icing on the cake. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video.